It's a crime trend News 4 has been tracking for months. Thieves targeting music bands in St. Louis. Well, it happened again this week in the middle of the day while band members were eating lunch.
It's St. Louis. That's all I can say. It's sad, but it's true.
A woman robbed at a busy metro stop in Clayton during the morning rush hour. Hear what passengers have to say about their safety and where police stand in finding who is responsible.
Images of unrest in Ferguson dominated the headlines 1 year ago. Today, the Department of Justice releases a report on the police response.
And this county clerk in Kentucky creating a nationwide buzz. Why she will step foot in a federal courtroom today.
Live from KMOV, this is News 4 This Morning.
Good morning and happy Thursday to all of you. I am Laura Hediger in for Emily Rao.
And I'm Andre Hepkins. Another hot and humid day in store for us. Is there relief ahead for us? That's what Kenton is looking into this morning. We'll check in with him in about 4 minutes from now.
But first, we are tracking a crime trend becoming all too familiar. For the fifth time in less than a year, a band's van broken into in St. Louis.
Yeah, News 4 first took notice of this trend last October. $30,000 in equipment stolen from that van parked in Midtown. But the latest case of theft is proving to be an even bigger bruise for the city of St. Louis. Mugo Digwe joins us now. And Mugo, we're learning that bands across the country are starting to take notice, right?
Andre, we are learning that a Richmond Heights man will spend 50 years in prison for beating his father to death with a hammer. On Wednesday, a judge sentenced this man, 34-year-old LaDerek McDonald, to 50 years after he pleaded guilty to second-degree murder. Last year, he attacked his father, 67-year-old Felix McDonald, with a hammer. The son also strangled him inside a St. Louis apartment. Happening today, sentencing for the men who planned to blow up the Arch, then kill County Prosecutor Bob McCullough and former Ferguson Police Chief Tom Jackson. Elijah Juan Davis and Brandon Baldwin were arrested last November. In April, the two admitted to the plans. Both could face up to 20 years in prison. Now, when that next big storm hits, will you be prepared? That's what September's National Preparedness Month is trying to help you figure out.
Yeah, less than half of Americans have plans in place for emergency situations. Your first course of action should be pick an emergency contact. It's to choose someone out of the state family members can contact to let them know they're okay. Also, did you know in an emergency, texting and social media, they're the best way to communicate. Phone lines can get jammed or go down, and let the kids in on the plans. It'll help them feel more comfortable in those kinds of situations. 5:04, time for weather and traffic.
And we'll check the tropics, sorry.
Great. By the way, that was my fault on the toss, not Andre's. So I'm not going to let him take the heat for that. It was.
Thank
but
you.
now that we're here on traffic, hopefully I got this under control today. If you are getting ready to walk out the door in the Metro East, you are going to have no problems. 255, Interstate 64, also 5570 are all moving along just fine. It starts to slow down when you get closer to the Poplar Street Bridge. Also keep in mind the Martin Luther King Bridge is still closed. The Eads has a little bit of construction on it, but the Stan Musial Veterans Memorial Bridge is moving just fine. All right, in the last 30 minutes, I've been checking on speeds in the Wentzville area in far west St. Charles County. Things are back to normal, moving at 65 miles per hour. And our first live look of the day is 70 at Bryan. This is an e-zoom, so the people that look like they are leaving you are getting closer to O'Fallon, St. Peter's. It'll take them about 20 minutes to get to the Blanchette Bridge. No problems whatsoever. Coming up in 10 minutes, we'll see how things are moving in Chesterfield. Andre. Okay,
we'll see you then. Actually, we'll see you before then. New this morning, a measure to curb heroin use in Illinois is headed.
Also out of Illinois, it seems the Legionnaire's outbreak is growing by the day at a Quincy Veterans Home. Health officials say 45 residents are now confirmed with the disease. 7 have already died. It is important to note those 7 already had medical problems that made them more susceptible. Legionnaire's disease is a severe form of pneumonia. A CDC team from Atlanta is in Quincy assisting the state's investigation.
All right, Laura, this burned out police crew.
Let's go Rams.
That's right.
And it is not fall without college football. And the first games of the season kick off tonight. So we thought we'd run down where our favorite area teams begin. Mizzou, fresh off an SEC East title, enters the season ranked 24th in the country. The Tigers start the season Saturday at home against Southeast Missouri State. Kickoff 3 o'clock. At Illinois, things aren't looking as bright. Coming off a 6-7 season last year, my Fighting Illini hope to rebound, but they will have to do so without their head coach. Tim Beckman fired last week over accusations of player mistreatment. Illinois opens against Kent State on Friday, and Andre, I will be at that game.
I can tell.
And I'm going to be wearing orange.
Blue and orange.
Yeah.
That's right. All right. New this morning, Zoo.
This morning.
Good morning to you. Thank you for waking up with us on this Thursday, September 3rd. I'm Andre Hepkins.
And I'm Laura Hediger in for Emily Rao. It's going to be another hot day in our area. Stick around because Kent has your forecast in just 4 minutes.
Yeah, but first today, the Department of Justice will release its report detailing the police response to the unrest in Ferguson.
This morning, we are already getting a look at what issues that report will cover, including a warning for the future. Our Kelly Davis is live in Ferguson with the Bommarito Street Fleet to give us a closer look. Good morning, Kelly. It is 5:50 on this Thursday morning as we take a live look at Lambert International Airport in St. Louis. Temperatures outside are about 77 degrees. Some people might be flying in or out of Lambert for this holiday weekend. Others might be planning to hit the road. So if you do, just know you will be paying the cheapest prices for gas in 11 years. According to GasBuddy.com, the national average is $1 less than last year. Even better, drivers here in the city of St. Louis are paying much less. Right now, the local average price is $2.17. That is compared to $2.44 nationally. Unfortunately, though, for you Metro East drivers, I had a chance to check in on the average price in St. Clair County. It is about $2.37.
Wow.
Yeah, well, all right. It is no secret St. Louis is home to some of the best barbecue in the country.
Agreed. And this morning, a new list of best ribs in America has St. Louis and the state of Missouri in general well represented. And Steve Harris, Missouri made, joins us from the News 4 kitchen with all the delicious details.
And you know, Laura, now that you said gas prices are low, they will go up. That's just how it works.
And we'll be blamed.
And we'll get blamed. People shake their fists when they see me out and about. Now, here's the thing. Yes, this is a good story, right?
Okay.
It's the Daily Meal. I love them. They do cool stuff. They put the Kansas City better or the St. Louis.
Well, you know where
That's
we're
a
going to go.
no-
Well, I mean, I'm with you. I'm
brainer.
with you on that, but I want to
Right.
see what the Facebook people do.
Okay.
Well, hopefully
I've been to
they-
both Pappy's and Bogart's several times, and they're both great places.
Good stuff. Good
Get
stuff.
barbecue.
Very good. I think I smell that pork loin.
You might.
Yeah.
I'll save you some.
All right,
Ooh,
we
thank
do. We
you.
like some of that.
Take it right out.
Okay.
Good stuff. Thank you, Steve.
Now, from ribs to hot dogs, Nathan's famous.
Good morning and happy Thursday to all of you. I am Laura Hediger in for Emily Rao.
And I'm Andre Hepkins. Another hot and humid day in store for us. Is there relief for us ahead of us? Well, that's what Kent's looking into this morning. We'll check in with him in about 4 minutes from now.
But first, we are tracking a crime trend becoming all too familiar. For the 5th time in less than a year, a band's van broken into in St. Louis.
News 4 first.
It is 6:04, time for weather and traffic on the 4s. We begin with traffic, and our first live look is 70 just east of the Missouri River. All the taillights you see just crossed over the Blanchette Bridge. They didn't have any issues, and the headlights you see are making their way toward the Blanchette. So if you are getting ready to walk out the door, you use the Blanchette. Speeds are at 60 miles per hour. But if you want to switch it up and use the Discovery Bridge today, things are going to be just fine, cruising at 60 miles per hour in the Bridgeton area. Also want to see how things are moving in downtown St. Louis. 70, 64, 44, and 55. All great options for you this morning. There are no accidents on the roads, and you see a lot of 55s on the board. Very good news. Our Mark Griffin is up above the Poplar Street Bridge in Sky Zoom 4.
Good morning, Laura. From our vantage point, you can see lights still on at Busch Stadium, even though the Cardinals have a day off today. If you're not that lucky and have to get into work coming in from Illinois this morning, I can tell you what, all of our downtown bridges are looking great this morning. The E's and the Mutual both rolling right along here, and as I push into the Poplar Street Bridge here, you can see it's a smooth run from Illinois into downtown St. Louis.
Yeah, things are looking good from up there. Thank you very much, Mark. In 10 minutes, we will see him above 55 in Butler Hill in Jefferson County. But right now, we are going to see Ken Earhart.
And we are going to feature our little orange